Hello, good day. We begin our presentation on teaching approaches in secondary social studies, focusing on the fundamental concepts of learning theories. So we acknowledge that these theories are not just abstract ideas, but practical guides that shape our understanding of how learning takes place. So as future educators in social studies field, we recognize that our teaching must be anchored in knowledge about how students acquire, process, and retain information. So this discussion will give us an enlightenment or an idea now to consider our approach that education is not being passed through with confidence but also with intentionality. So we remind ourselves that learning is not automatic. Okay, you take note of that. It is nurtured through strategies informed by research and theory. So when we internalize these theories, we become more capable of adjusting to the diverse needs of our learners. We also position ourselves as reflective practitioners, always questioning and refining our approaches. So by doing so, we contribute to making education meaningful and responsive. As you can see right now in our PowerPoint presentation, it is being defined by Stanley 2020 that learning theory is a broad term that encompasses various models and principles explaining how people acquire, process, retain knowledge, and skills. You know what? In defining this kind of learning theory, the explanations of how people acquire, process, and retain knowledge must be considered because it is being developed through observation, research, and even practice. So this one, we need to understand that learning can be passed through using learning theories. So, may pag-uusapan tayo na 4 na theories ngayong araw. Yung una dyan, makikita natin sa presentation, is yung kay Richard Atkinson and Richard Schifrin. As you can see right now, the information processing theory. The second one is the hierarchy of needs, according to Abraham Maslow. The psychosocial development theory, according to Erik Erikson. And looking glass self theory, according to Charles Cooley. Now, this one, when we talk about the concept na meron si Atkinson na Schifrin, the information processing theory, according to them, the individual learns when the human mind takes in information, particularly in coding, performs operation in it, stores the information or under po yun sa storage, and retrieves it when needed. You know what? This kind of thinking must be address in order to understand the learning discussion in a classroom setting. Because in understanding encoding, which is the initial stage of learning, in this stage, pinapakita dyan, we actively receive information from the environment and transform it into a mental representation that our mind can understand. So this could be through visual images, sounds, or associations with prior knowledge. We notice that when we engage deeply with the information, such as linking it to something meaningful, or encoding becomes stronger and more effective because there's always link, okay? Now, pagpasok naman ng storage, ito yung concern na pinag-uusapan ng process where information is retained in our memory over time. However, we need to recognize that our mind organizes the information systematically, which allows us to recall it later. So different types of memory, such as sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory, work together to ensure that the information we encode is what? Preserve. Okay, that's the clue there. Na-preserve po siya. So we see that the better we organize and rehearse the information, the more durable our memory becomes. Okay? So the third one is the retrieval. Ito yung pinaka-challenging part because this is the stage where we access stored information when needed. We understand that retrieval can be influenced by how well we encoded and stored the information. When we practice recalling knowledge, we strengthen the neural connections, making future retrieval faster and more accurate. So realize that by understanding this cycle of encoding, storage, and retrieval, we can become more effective learners and improve our ability to retain and use knowledge in practical situations. So, in understanding this one, my presentation, makikita mo dyan, na yung idea na Richard Atkinson, naka-indicate yung table, sensory input, merong sensory memory that includes visual or auditory. Naka-include din yan yung attention or pattern recognition that works on by understanding working memory. Okay, dito po yung makikita natin yung rehearsal, the chunking part, or even the responses. So you can see right now the both arrow na papunta ng working memory to long-term memory ay ano siya, same siya, encoding or retrieval. So yan po yung context na meron si Atkinson at si Shiffrin. So now let's proceed sa memory by understanding the concepts by chunking this one according to Atkinson and Shiffrin. The memory, it is the ability to store information so that it can be used at a later time. So may mga consideration tayo dyan. Una-una, sensory memory. Pag sinabi sensory memory, information store that holds an exact copy of stimuli for a very short period of time. Kasi nga sensory. So naka-indicate dyan yung color, shape, blowing of horn. Yan yung idea ng sensory. May include yung senses. Pero clue, in a very short period of time. Okay? Now, the short-term memory naman, class, or called as STM, the information store that retains the information as we consciously work on it. So, conscious ka. You are trying to consider now ano yung information. Kasi nga, conscious ka, no? Hindi ibig sabihin na alam mo yung color, madidistinct mo na agad sa short term. Mean to say, you are trying to identify a certain color, shape, blowing of horn, and the rest of it. Kasi nga conscious ka. Ano yun? Information store that retains the information as we consciously work on it. Now, ang kaibahan naman ngayon, class, yung pagpasok natin ng long-term memory, makikita mo yan sa slide natin ngayon. Information story that is permanent or minutes to lifetime or information on the LTM. Mean to say, if ang isang information ay hindi siya na-rehearse, pwede siya makalimutan. Okay? Mind that one, ha? So, forgetting, class, it is the inability to recall. So, previously known, the mind. Mahirap siyang i-recall because nakalimutan mo. So, sa long-term memory, yan yung mga factor that we need to consider. So, we need to understand na information stored that is permanent or minutes to lifetime or information in the LTM. So, may mga causes dyan. Una-una, retrieval failure. Ibig sabihin, forgetting is due to inability to recall information. So, when you are able to recall certain facts, pwede yun. However, may mga causes pag sinabi nating nakakalimot na tayo dahil hindi natin ginagamit or nire-recall yung information. The retrieval failure. Second, decay theory. Naka-indicate dyan na information stored in long-term memory gradually fades when not in use. Pag hindi natin siya pinapractice, hindi natin siya ina-apply, so makakalimutan natin yan. Ano yun? Decay theory yan. Okay? And another one is the interference theory. Forgetting long-term memory is due to the influence of other learning. May mga information ka na na-add sa mind mo, na bibigyan ng pansin, tapos yung idea na hindi ginagamit, nakakalimutan siya. Ngayon yung interference because of mixed ideas na meron ka, minsan nagkakaroon ng confusion. So, nakakalimutan natin yung isang facts o yung isang information because of the influence of other learning. Okay? Now, we need to consider in understanding information, we need to practice retention. It is the ability to recall or recognize what has been learned or experienced. So, retention means binabalik-balik mo yung isang information for you to master, for you to recall it, for you to store it, not in sensory memory, not in short-term memory, but in your long-term memory. Okay? Much better na ma-practice natin yung isang information, applying it to another context for us to really appreciate the essence of this information. Okay? The next one is the interference. It is the act or an instance of hindering, obstructing, or impeding. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung cross na information na papasok sa mind natin. Pero, yun, yung muscle memory natin, we need to consider na ito yung mind map. Okay? Mind mapping dito sa area ng brain natin, ito sa another area of brain natin. We need to organize information in our mind for us to easily recover information when it is needed. Okay? So next, pasok tayo kay Abraham Maslow, the hierarchy of needs. He was a leading humanistic psychologist. Okay? Third force yan, naka-indicate yan. And develop niya yung pinaka-known na need, hierarchy. Okay? Kanino yan? No other than kay Abraham Maslow. He promoted a concept of self-actualization. According to him, there are 4 types of needs that must be satisfied before a person can act unselfishly. The needs are arranged in hierarchical order, which means the upward climb is made by satisfying one set of needs at a time. So makikita natin sa PowerPoint presentation, the highest part, makikita mo dyan, yung self-actualization. It is the desire to become the most that one can be. So, prior to understand self-actualization, let's try to consider physiological needs. Physiological needs includes what? Air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction. So, ito yung physiological needs na kailangan natin. Hindi mo siya gusto, pero kailangan mo. Okay? Hindi mo siya gusto, pero kailangan mo. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka mabubuhay without this one. Kasi nga, kailangan mo siya, need mo siya. Pagpasok ng physiological needs, papasok ka ngayon sa safety needs. Ito yung personal security, employment, resources, health, and property. To maintain your physiological needs, kailangan mo ng safety needs. Do you get me? So, mind that one, ha? However, hindi ka magiging fully equipped if you don't consider love and belongingness. So, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. So, yung mga ganung bagay, papasok yun sa love and belongingness or belonging. Na ibig sabihin, as a person, we as a human, we are emotional, we are bound to interact with our people, establish relationship, appreciate friendships, understand intimacy, or even in our family. So we are trying to cultivate the sense of connection. Ito yung love. Okay? Ito yung love and belonging. Next one is the esteem. Esteem talks about respect. Self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, freedom. And this esteem provides us a confidence to make ourselves effective, not just for ourselves, but also to other people. Because respect yan. No? Self-esteem yan, status yan. Kailangan mo yan. Yes, kailangan mo yan. Hindi mo pwedeng i-consider yung sarili mo without understanding esteem. Kailangan mo ng valid or legit information of who you are as a person to establish your confidence. Okay? Next is the self-actualization. Actually, sobrang hirap i-practice ng self-actualization. Why? Because it is the area where we reflect if tama ba yung pinapractice natin, tama ba yung ginagawa natin. So, self-actualization really provides us understanding that we need to evaluate. Okay? Because according to this description, desire to become the most that one can be. Ibig sabihin, you don't consider love and belongingness as your top priority, safety needs as your top priority, esteem as your top priority, but you consider everything because it is being defined as what? Self-actualization. Okay? Now, pasok tayo ngayon in terms of examples. Physiological needs are basic. Okay? Example yan, yung makikita mo sa presentation natin ngayon, yung food, liquid, sleep, oxygen, and everything, including sex. Okay, baka mag-wonder kayo na according to some research and published articles, sex ay part siya ng need ng isang tao. Okay? Yes, totoo yan. Whether we like it or not, that's the reality. Sex. Kailangan siya ng tao. Freedom of movement in a moderate temperature. So, ang safety needs naman, safety from physical attack, emotional attack, fatal disease, invasion, and everything. So, ganun po ang safety need. However, pagpasok ng love and belonging, the love of belonging needs come into play after physiological security drives are satisfied. So, in order to understand the hierarchy of needs of Abraham Maslow, you need to consider first your physiological needs. Okay? Naka-hierarchy siya. So, hindi ka pwede pumasok agad-agad ng self-actualization without considering your physiological needs. And those are the concept na meron si Abraham Maslow. Hanggang magpasok ng esteem, hanggang magpasok ng self-actualization. Okay? I hope you understand it, no? And now, pasok tayo kay Erik Erikson. You know what? Very interesting ang ganitong learning theories because as a teacher, we're trying to understand a certain learner with some point of certain history or background. Psychosocial development theory, this theory provides us understanding by considering the word psycho and social. Psycho means relating to the mind, brain, and personality. So, yung learners natin, magkakaiba yan ng personality, magkakaiba ng capabilities, magkakaiba yan ng strength, or even weaknesses. That's why in assessment, we are trying to use diagnostic assessment. We consider the strengths and weaknesses of our learners to provide a scaffold, to provide a support, guidance to our specific learners. So, in order to do that, you need to understand this kind of theory, according to Erik Erikson, because related to the mind, brain, and personality. So, it's very difficult to understand psycho only. That's why it is being included there in our PowerPoint presentation. Makikita mo dyan, yung external relationships environment, which means that we need to develop through predetermined unfolding of our personalities, considering the 8 stages. Okay? Now, Erikson theory delved into how personality was formed and believed that the earlier stages serve as a foundation for later stages.